Welcome to the Rice with Rice podcast with my special friend. He's special.
Mentally.
Yeah. His name is Alt.
That is me.
He
Hello.
holds the Alt key. He is the Alt key. Every time you press him, it hurts him physically. So don't press him. Don't press the Alt key.
I thought you were going to say some rancid shit. So
I was thinking about it. I was pretty close to saying something.
Yeah. My God.
Okay. I don't know what to talk
Man.
about.
No, we got cut off last time when we were speaking. Here's the thing, though. I was excited to talk about my stories.
Yeah.
But then Ernest came in. And I'm just like, oh, no, I don't get to talk because they're just going to mess around.
So little side note, we recorded a whole podcast that got fucking deleted. Well, not deleted. Alt has half of it, but it's just so annoying. It was perfect. I honestly to God, I thought that last podcast we did was fucking golden. That was amazing, and then it got deleted.
Maybe I'll check it out if I actually recorded that one then.
Yeah,
because I don't think I did.
Yeah,
because we were talking about stories.
Yeah, if you didn't, it's all good. But I don't know. So let's just try back check of just a couple topics. We'll glance over the topics. So yeah.
What was it? The voice acting thing that we were talking about?
Oh no, Oh wait, you were recording that? No, I was talking about the one before.
No,
that.
I was not recording that. That was the one I wasn't recording.
Ah, I see. That sucks. That's titty milk right there. Anyway.
Yeah, because we were talking about stories. Because you're like, come in here. I will tell you my reinversed script, and I'm like, okay. And then you started talking. That's why I didn't record it, because I thought you're gonna be like, no, I don't want anybody to hear this until it's finished. You know?
Oh yeah. That fucking damn past me. It's all good. I don't know.
Because we got into cool topics like voice acting.
Yeah, so this is we're two. Yeah, I guess we're artists, right? You know, well, we can call ourselves.
I guess
that,
so.
Sort of. So we were talking about voice acting. So do you want to do some more voice acting?
What that one sample I did that no one will ever hear?
Yeah.
All you need to know is that apparently it was good.
Yes,
so,
it was
hell
good.
Yeah.
So I got not three, no, yeah, two main voices. I try to do. So there's the telephone.
You said 4 last time.
I don't know what I said last time. Okay, last time was last time. This time is this time.
Memory is my forte.
Yes,
you said you had 4 last time.
4.
So I don't think I can do it now because it's gonna be.
Oh yeah, I was talking about the iron lung voice. That's what I was talking about because I'm trying to make my voice more deeper. I guess maybe I can use some sort of filter for my voice to make it sound more
like a militaristically authoritative.
I low-key just sound I sound like a fucking kid. So
pretending, yeah.
Yeah. I sound like a kid trying to sound like an adult. It sucks. So hello there, welcome back to Telephonics. Okay, I can't do the voice right now. I'll try it one more time.
Yeah, that's fair.
Hello there, welcome back to Telephonics. Fuck.
I don't think I can voice act right now. I think I might be bothering my parents if I do.
Yeah, I can do the fucking probably the deep fucking voice, but that's gonna fuck up my voice for the rest of the thing. I'll do it anyway. How can I say? They think you're a threat. Nah, it's not that. It's not. I can't, dude. It sucks.
It's not today.
It's just, it's just
no
not
voice
today. Yeah, we'll do it another podcast, definitely.
Yeah, we can do it earlier in the morning.
Yeah,
when
definitely.
No one's here for me, so that I can do whatever I please.
Going back to relationship shift, you said no to fucking that girl. That's insane. Well, not it's just
it's a bit confusing because she's also confused about what she did, which makes me even more confused. But I did refute.
Yeah. So, do you identify as asexual, or to an extent, or?
Why are you gay?
I don't know. I'm just confused on your thing.
No, that interview with the 2 African dudes, and they're just It's like one gay guy who like came in for an interview, and then the host is just like, "Why are you gay?"
Why are you gay?
That feels like what's happening right now.
Oh yeah, I guess so. Like, I say again. Fuck! I completely forgot what we talked about last time.
Why am I an ace? Why am I an ace?
Yeah, kind of. I guess. Well,
I don't
not why, but like, how you say again? Like, why didn't you choose to say yes? Let's be together and let's make monkeys.
Cooties. Gross.
Oh yeah. Sorry, you got cooties, so I can't be with you. It's not gonna happen. It's just won't work between us. You know what I mean?
I'm a simple man, alright? I see cooties, I don't approach.
Yeah, I love Pants a Hat. It's like my fantasies don't involve women. It's like, wait a minute, that's fucking perfect.
Is that what it? Wow, I say that and it reminds you of that.
Yeah, yeah, dude, like insanely, to an insane degree. Let's call it again. So, yeah, let's just talk about fucking stories. Why not? So, I don't know. You watch anything lately? You been watching anything at all lately?
I have watched I've watched the what was it? Chainsaw Man with you. That was pretty enjoyable. Right. You and your brother.
Yeah, dude. Let's call it again. I like the art styles. I just love the music. Like the music.
I like the scenes. Yeah, they actually did it so well.
I know. They get so much better too. It's amazing. And like, I love how like how you say again. There's like every single episode has a different ending song, which is amazing. That's like
a different ending song.
Yeah, a completely different one. They have basically
you were gushing about that, and I'm just like. I thought you were talking about like the ending has like different scenes, you know, every ending.
Yeah. Well,
that's what I had my mind on.
It has both best of both worlds. It's amazing.
Because like, I do have an idea on how to end like the episodes of my stories.
Yeah, of course. What's the story that you'd be comfortable just explaining, or do you just want to? It's like it's mine. I feel that sometimes.
Once again, I think we're just gonna get into like a habit of like recording things, anyways.
No, yeah.
So when like the story comes out, then you can add out like the things that we were talking about. Maybe you could do that.
Yeah, of course.
You know.
So yeah, but like Chainsaw Man, that's called it. Like the art's amazing. It's fucking fantastic, and like I love like how you say again, like. Denji himself is kind of refreshing in a way because he's just like, I want to touch boobs and I want to like just, eat some nice food. You know what I mean? Now we're like, I gotta save the world for my wife and her wife's boyfriend. You know what I mean? Like, I prefer like, well, I don't prefer, but like, it's nice to have like a character with like simple motives and stuff like that. I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah. It is nice, and it's also very nice that you just skipped over what I wanted to say.
What do you want to say?
It was like, no, because we were talking about stories earlier.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You're just
yeah.
like,
so,
what are you comfortable with telling? And I was like going on about how it's supposed to be recorded anyways and gonna get released, in the future once the story is like done. And you just like, so anyway, Chainsaw Man, and I'm like, all right, Bryce.
I know. I'm sorry. I was trying to go back to the topic, but I guess you were on a new topic now, eh? So, going back to comfortable stories we're telling with. What the fuck am I trying to say?
Or stories we could just say, which is essentially everything, since this is not exactly going to get released now, Yeah.
So
maybe like in 6 years.
Yeah.
And then they finally get this audio.
Like, like I'm okay with like releasing some of my bits. I can just cut out yours if you want me to. It'd be perfectly fine.
Well, most likely for you. Yeah, I think I can see that.
Yeah.
Though it's gonna be a bit odd because it's more like two people talking about stories, right?
Yeah.
We both have stories. We both have stories differing from each other.
Yeah.
And we take pieces of our stories and like trade off. Yeah. It's like give each other like some conversation to like hop on things.
Could we talk about cut off? Sorry.
If we
I thought you were gonna talk. We're gonna talk. Anyway, keep going.
My God, at this point, okay, hold on. Let me just backtrack because of how rude you are. it's like, yeah, we're trading off stories. So if you cut out like the audio, right?
Yeah, yeah.
If you cut out the audio of me talking about my stories, then you're just gonna sound like a rambling idiot, you know,
Well, I'm already
of
kind of
just
a
talking to
rambling idiot.
yourself. Well, that is true. Clearly, since you want to talk so much, but it's like I think it would feel a lot more natural if it's like actually me speaking and
Okay, yeah.
then adding on to your stories while you add on to my stories.
Then
That
how
type of thing.
about you you can talk about the homeless guy then, the homeless guy in the dumpster. How about that?
Oh, that one? That's
Yeah,
like a throwaway.
yeah. You can talk.
I was like,
Let's.
yeah,
I got a couple throwaways. Do you want to talk about throwaways? We can talk about
dude,
throwaways.
yeah, because that throwaway has actually been thrown away from my mind until you just reminded me. Because I remember we were just making that in art class.
Yeah. Okay, well, we'll discuss throwaways then. Okay, cool. So, throwaway topics, I guess. Well, throwaway stories.
Yeah, that
right?
homeless,
Yeah.
the homeless stories that
You want
probably is
you want to
never
go
gonna
first?
be made. I mean, what I remember about it, I could remind you. Well,
Yeah, I
what do
need a
you think of it?
refresher. I need a refresher.
Yeah, a refresher of that is essentially a homeless guy is like acting like a villain, you know?
Oh yeah.
But
I
then,
remember now.
but yeah, and then the hero is like what do you call that? A trash man. He was just like, man, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Just want to do my job. And it's like a back and forth. It's like
Yeah.
a mockery of like superhero stories.
Yeah.
That's what we made.
So like I remember I wanted him to have like a dead rat as a pet, like you know how
Yeah,
like
yeah, that one.
how in Wayside how like that chef, that fucking crazy ass lady chef was like, here's Ramoli, you know, it's sort of like dead rat with like a fucking chef hat, shit like that, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah, it's like that. And he had like a butler, right?
yeah. Well, no, he had like another guy there with him. I don't think he had a butler.
Yeah, no, that guy was a butler.
Oh yeah, right. He's like, this is
He's
my
a server.
yeah.
He serves the
Yeah,
villain,
right.
quote unquote.
Like like the villain is like projecting like you are my butler. You know what I mean? Like it's just like another homeless guy like doing homeless guy things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So like
I was like finding a tattered suit for him. Like there's like a scene where he's just like rummaging through the trash and is like, "Here you go. What a nice fine suit just for you."
Yeah. So my thought of it was like it'd be like in a futuristic city. You know what I mean? Or it'd be like maybe you have like an entirely different thought of it, but I'll tell you mine first.
Yeah, because of how it ended.
Yeah.
Like we had a story, right? We had like the up and downs of the stories and stuff. Not exactly like up and downs in the traditional sense.
Yeah.
More like comedic, like sort of cartoonish up and downs.
Yeah.
It's like that. But then we had an ending for it. And I'm assuming you don't remember the ending,
I do
right?
not remember the ending at all.
The ending ends up with them in the white void.
What?
That's it. The end, like there's like something that happened with the trash man,
Oh yeah.
and a whole shebang of like goofs and gaffs happened, but then it just ended up as like two dead homeless people, I think, like zooming out in like a white void, and sort of ended like that for some reason.
Damn, that's depressing.
It is depressing.
So actually, wait. Let me tell you like how I kind of wanted the story to kind of go. Then you can tell me yours. So like
Yeah.
I remember wanting it to be more like grounded and like realistic. Like it'd still be a comedy, but like it's be more like a realism comedy, where it'd be like
Yeah, you can remind me of stuff as well because
yeah.
we essentially made both of this, like all of like those stories.
Yeah.
So
My thought of it, of what the fuck do we want to call it first? Just like
it's the homeless guy.
homeless. That's it.
I think we were also like talking about
let's just call
we,
it's called the trash man. How about that?
yeah. I
So-
mean that means that the hero, but it's mostly focused on the villain,
Yeah.
which is the homeless guy.
So like so my like view for kind of the trash man was like to be like how you say it again, like more realistic, grounded, shit like that, right? So like my scenes in my head would be like, so this guy, he lost everything to gambling, right? So now he's just fucking homeless in like this futuristic city. So, he comes across this alley, right? And like, he sees like a certain like a blonde boy just like taking out the trash, right? And he's like, he hasn't eaten anything for like days, right? He's like, food, right? Food. And then he sees like a guy, another guy kind of like in a butler suit, like a really torn up fucking butler suit. And then he's like, throughout like the course of the story, he just gets more and more and more insane, kind of. And then like,
yeah, I think that was the case.
And then like, he's like, this is Ralph, and he's like holding up his rat, and he's like, bring me my food, servant, talking to the fucking the garbage boy. And then he's like, fucking get out of here. You know what I mean? So then like, I like how the way you ended it though, like, it's just like, two dead homeless guys, you know what I mean? Like after a while. Yeah. So it's a sad thing, isn't it? So like, to me, it was going to be a lot more grounded and stuff like that. I'm not sure for you though. What was your kind of views on it? Because for me, it was a futuristic city.
Yeah, because I got like it's not like very thorough. Like I described it very thoroughly.
Yeah.
Of like what happened, right? But honestly, it's like broad in the sense that I can try and like explain it and have like the basic concepts of it, but not exactly what's happening in the middle and what exactly the goofs and gaffs are.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just like him messing around, but sort of always just being like a bit lunacy,
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking, and honestly, I kind of like what your idea for it is.
Yeah.
But with the ending that I have, you could like actually make it like a teardown, because it's like a goofy movie about like a homeless villain guy.
So like, if like you don't know what me and Alt do, we like fucking we like playing it like off each other's ideas. Like we like borrowing shit from each other, and like we what's it called again? What's that? We like topping each other, or like that sounds fucking gay.
Topping?
I meant like, how do you say again? Like
bouncing off of each other.
Yeah, bouncing off of each other. I don't know why I said the most gayest thing possible, but neither here nor there.
In your mind, those dudes really are getting to you, isn't it?
I know. So, like, what's it called again? Like, we'll just have like general discussions of story topics and stuff like that. And, like, I'll go on rants about like fucking dumbass things, like how the fuck everybody speaks English in the universe somehow. Dumb stuff like that. But going back to like just side stories we could talk about. I guess I could talk about my my isekai. Talk about isekais.
So, yeah, we could do that. And just an extra topic for that. You remember like the discussion we had when we were playing like a board game at your house? What was it? Like the Fallout board game?
Yeah.
And then we stopped playing and we just started talking about stories and we're like, what stories would we make? And we like came up with 3.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So there was the.
Oh, we have those. We
definitely got those. So I remember one of them. So it's the guy on the island, or like he's
not
like,
the guy in an.
Oh no! A guy on like
it's a train.
Yeah, on a train. On the train.
Like a very, it's like just like a semi-futuristic train.
Yeah.
Like the train that you see like in Japan and stuff, like a bullet train.
Yeah.
But like every station is completely fine.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Like
before we get to this.
Okay, let's not talk about that right now. But that's
yeah. I can't wait to get to that though. That's gonna be amazing. So, the isekai thing.
Your isekai? Yes, the ones you were talking about.
So, like, my main problem with kind of isekai is, like, they're fucking always fantasy worlds. You know what I mean? It's like, here's some fucking goblins, here's some, wizards. Yo, you're overpowered now. It's just like, awesome. Thank you so much. I need to watch another person get overpowered in a fantasy world and get, like, a harem somehow. Like, how is the first person always a girl they run into? You know what I mean? Like, and it's always a really fucking hot
I want
chick.
Men, says Brian.
God damn it, where the hot men at? You know what I mean? Anyway.
Yeah.
So, like...
Listen, there's not much, alright? It's like an open market,
Yeah.
Bryce is not gay, like he says to himself, but he wants men, okay?
I need more men in my stories. Anyway, so like
Yeah, no, we could literally like make money off of like an isekai where it's actually just like
a bunch of hot
guys,
men.
like yeah, exactly.
And the main character is like
here's the
he
thing as well.
can't find
Here's the
a
thing as
girl.
well. Like the isekai, like the isekai person, right?
Yeah.
The isekai person is the like classically Japanese like scrawny kid,
Jet
but
black
everyone in his team is completely jacked. You know, sort of like that.
Yeah.
That would rise so much.
That'd be funny.
It could be like it could be like what do you call that, like volleyball anime, you know?
Haikyuu?
Yeah, Haikyuu. Just bait like a bunch of teenage girls for that for what you're doing with a isekai
So,
of
like,
just
yeah.
actually just dudes.
Me and all like just making like concepts on the spot. So like shit like like,
So there you have
yeah,
that, folks.
Yeah, you go concepts on the spot. We'll do that now and then. So one more thing. So yeah, going back to the isekai thing. So mine's more of like Doom, right? You ever play Doom? Or ever see Doom?
Yeah.
So like imagine
I have seen the Doom.
Yeah, imagine being like he gets teleported to like an isekai world, right? And like he's like, oh, I'm gonna get like fucking babes. I'm gonna have like magical powers. I'm gonna fucking I'm gonna sleep with all the elves. I'm gonna get some goblin bitches, shit like that. You know what I mean? And then he steps outside. He's like, "What the fuck's happening?" Like the world's on fire. Like demons with guns are fucking like shooting up a bunch of people, shit like that, right? So like, kind of how he dies.
Oh,
kind of how he dies is he's flying in a plane like above like. Okay, yeah, you're in a plane, so you're above a lot of things. I don't know where I'm trying to go. I don't know where I'm trying to go with that. He's in a plane.
Trying to explain what the plane is because your mind is like loading about what to talk about next.
Yeah. So he's in a plane, right? And you know how like a bus always hits the fucking main character?
Yeah.
So he's in the plane, right? And then he sees like a bus kind of like just flying towards like the plane. He's like, that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
And then, like the bus hits the plane and like, everybody survives but him, right? Somehow. I'll figure it out.
Odd, yeah, but yeah.
So
work out the kinks. This is like a mock isekai anyway.
Throwaway
so it
ideas,
exactly
what I mean? These are throwaway stories. So he wakes up in like the dimension, everything I just explained, right? Like it's a Doom world. He's trying to like he thought it'd be fantasy, shit like that, right? And like so the concept is that how humans are always warring with each other, like different ideologies.
Well aware.
Stuff like that, general human nature.
At the top, Bryce. All right, look. What do you think is happening, right?
No.
Say the dates right now.
Hey, the Russians or Ukrainians are just, they're doing stuff.
They're having a little bit of fun,
They're having a day like brothers, at the beach,
like siblings,
Yeah,
just having a little fight.
So like general human stuff, right? So always warring with each other. So, like the god of this world, the goddess of this world, right? It was like.
Oh, by the way, I'm gonna stop you right there. The war with the Ukrainians and Russians. That's just not the only thing that's happening right now. There's a lot more.
There's a lot of things going on. Anyway, so the goddess of this world, right, was like, I have to like if they're not gonna have peace, I'm gonna make peace, right? So she like basically declares.
I think you mentioned something about this. Continue.
So she declares war on the world, right? Killing all of her people, right? Like she's just like trying to slaughter as much as possible to force them into a small group so they can rebel and attack her and kill her in like the process of achieving like peace for the world.
Yeah, a self-sacrifice thing. So like I made this, Yeah.
And like, she kind of like the only person who could kill her, main character. He kind of got summoned there and like, there are like it's like and it's like, he's using guns. He's not just like magic powers, revolver with magic powers. It's pure guns, no magic. Shit like that.
Yeah, I feel like instead of like that wizardly voice that you're saying, like suck my dick, and the thunder just like shoots out.
The shape
they
of
press
a dick.
their hips. Yeah. All I think about when you're like describing that, like what you were describing was goofy,
Yeah.
like goofy magic stuff. But here, I just imagine the guy like having a pistol in his hands and he's just running away and he's like fuck, That's what this story is.
Yeah. Who's Don? You know Don Cheadle, right? You know, like the Captain Planet thing you showed me a while
Captain
ago.
Planet.
Dude, that video is fucking amazing. I'll go back to that video now and then. That shit's so funny. Just like, just turning everybody into trees, and then he's like fucking like moving his hips.
It has like a.
That's amazing.
Who's that villain in the Boys?
The
Homelander, right?
Yeah, Homelander.
He has Homelander vibes. Oh my god, he's the first Homelander, you know?
Yeah, very first Homelander. Anyway,
actually, though, think about it. Like story wise, like he has the entire traits of Homelander, and Homelander still hasn't existed. Yeah. Like in media, anyway. Well, comics.
I guess kind of. So like they have no idea what you're fucking talking about. I guess I'll link it in. Because this could be on YouTube and Spotify. So I'll link.
You don't need to tell me, man. I don't know what you're gonna do with this audio.
Anyway, I'll just link it in the bottom of description. Anyway, so let's go back to the bullet train.
Gun isekai, demon guns.
Goddesses. I finished it.
Oh, that was it?
Kind of, yeah.
What the fuck were we talking about?
I don't know. We were just like talking about throwaway ideas. I gave you a throwaway idea. You have to give me your throw. Come on. I feel like it's not a throwaway idea, though. You know what I mean? Like
like none of these. Like we say throwaways just to make ourselves seem better. Like we're actually like talking about something. But these are like stories, like throwaway stories.
Yeah.
We are completely lying.
Yeah.
Because these stories have a lot of potential.
We want to make these. It sucks. Anyway. Let's talk about the bullet train.
We're just saying it's throwaway so that we feel better talking about it.
Yeah.
But also, we recognize like that we clearly will have the ability to make these stories and like the the positives of it.
Yeah, of course. So, what's the bullet thing about again? I think I have a. Actually,
I think it was like a. Yeah, it's very chill.
Can I give you my premise on it?
Of Subway 1? That's what we titled it.
Yeah. So, actually no, I want you to go first because I went first. I already explained my damn isekai thing. You go first.
Yeah, Subway 1 was a story we essentially the both of us worked on.
Yep.
But at that time we were like trying to make stories with each other. Yeah, exactly. But Bryce wanted it to be more like well, the basic premise of it is it's a post-apocalypse.
Yep.
The intro that I thought about it was it has the sea view, like in the bullet train, the windows and stuff. He's sitting next to that, and the intro sort of has him in like the corner of the screen, but you can clearly see him, and then the intro would be just like at the other side and not blocking him.
Yeah, of course.
We need you to see him and the title, but the title immediately fades away as, oh man, it like the scenes that I'm thinking of. It just goes back to the thing that I'm not going to do. Just explain the concept. Yeah, the concept is it's basically post-apocalypse.
Yep. So
basically post-apocalypse, and Bryce wanted it to be like an action post-apocalypse.
So like,
but not in the typical action. It's more of a like survival type of action of where he's not exactly fighting back, but he has if he has to, he will. That's what I think you.
Premise. So like, it's a guy on a subway train, and he's like kind of in a post-apocalyptic world, and he's like going through some fucking country, maybe Japan, right?
And or absolutely, it's like actually melded together of like essentially countries.
Yeah.
One day, like episode 1 could be him in what you said, Japan, and then the next episode he's actually in like northern Canada, maybe.
That'd be kind of cool. Okay. I want to build off this concept right now, but I need to like tone it back a little bit. So
getting excited about it, huh?
Let me explain to you what I wanted it to be. So, I always thought like the idea of like a singular person, right? Kind of like wandering through the apocalypse was awesome. So to me, Subway 1 would be like, so it's a mother and a boy, right? They're on an island together, right? And they're trying to get this subway working, this train working, right? And like they're stuck away from land, right? There's nowhere else to go. You know what I mean? The only way is this train that's not working. So his mother spends her entire life trying to work on this train, right? And she dies. You know what I mean? He like, and he's just all alone now, right? So, you know, he keeps trying to like fix this train, right? And he's just kind of like losing his mind. Eventually one day he does get it, right? He gets the train working, and he's like, holy fuck, right? There's going to be so many people that I'm going to meet, right? Like, and he's like, you know, saying his farewells to the island, his mom, you know what I mean? He's like, I can't wait to see other people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he goes to like...
What I'm getting at is, it's sort of like a tragedy, essentially.
Yeah, of course. So he goes on the train, right? And then he's like, he comes across a dead city, more dead cities, just like dead fields. You know what I mean? Like, just huge monoliths of just like emptiness,
empty concrete, essentially.
Exactly. And like, there's no vines either. Like, the entire world's kind of basically dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, it's just like kind of like a person like at the front of like, you know, nothing. You know what I mean? The end of it. And then like what you just described earlier, where like, you know, the countries are kind of meshed together. I think it'd be awesomer if like it was something anomalous, because like maybe like there's like, you know, the
you and your anomalies.
Yeah, the Statue of Liberty.
I'm there for
like,
subtlety, Brace.
Yeah, the Statue of Liberty in like in Japan, or like, you know, like the entire world is just like some shit are like floating above the sky. Like I want, I just like then he's kind of like just documenting it, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like for anyone who ever like might see this, you know what I mean? Like maybe he will cross. He comes across like some, you know, like working robots, right? But no actual humans. You know what I mean? So like,
it sounds like you're describing Last Girl's Tour, my favorite anime that you have not watched, but I'm fine with it.
I'll watch it. Okay.
No. I watch it solo. Keep an open mind about it, because I like it.
So
personally, I don't care if you don't like it. That's just me. I just like that fucking thing.
Anyway, so yeah, it's like a person at the end of like kind of like humanity. You know what I mean? Just like kind of seeing what it had to offer, and like seeing, you know, nothing left. So I think it's beautiful. Like every single topic we talk about, like we want to build off of, like we just want to build off stories. We want to make stories. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the thing with this is it's been a while, and you know, we're two different people.
Yeah.
So, like, it goes in different ways. Like that's what Bryce wants. He wants it to be more like a supernatural in a sense, you know.
Yeah. Exactly. So like
like
real quick. So the general message is still like kind of like the end of humanity, right? Or like did we have a general message for it, or did I'm pretty sure we did. I'm not sure if we did.
We did, but that the general message is what I was getting at, because that's like your future self. I don't think you like exactly remember like how things like sort of flowed when we made that stories. I don't think I remember. But for me, I have I guess a better memory than Bryce here. So, I mostly have like the original picture of what happened in that story. And the story is like partly tragic, you know.
Yeah, of course.
But it's similar to what Bryce said here, that the story is him like jotting down notes, you know, just writing to himself, keeping himself busy, just in case someone sees it. And for me, the story developed in a way of like he's writing it just for nothing.
Yeah, of course.
It's purposeless. You know, and he knows that just like it sort of has, for me, the story became hopeless.
Yeah, essentially. Of course, yeah, like there's no happy ending in the story. You know what I mean? Like
it's more so of him like traveling around broken buildings, essentially like cranes, right? Like the cranes holding up like steel,
like, orange like steel cranes, shit like that, right?
Yeah, except it's not even orange anymore. It's like all grayscale now.
Yeah, of course.
But for in my version of it, there is like greenery. Like things are overgrown now, and he walks around occasionally and then comes back to the train station. And the train station is really the only thing that's important. Bryce forgot to mention that, but I'm pretty sure you just kept that in mind. But the train station is the only thing that stayed the same.
Yeah.
That still functions, that still works, and nothing really changes. And the world is not exactly an amalgamation of like multiple countries like melding together,
Yeah, yeah.
even though it looks like it. It's like not for me. The story is not even in Earth, completely different like place, completely different universe. Just like somewhere else that's could be us, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
like could be Earth itself.
Like
but it's
how
just
you
not.
say again? Like it's like a person like kind of like seeing like the end of their existence, right? The end of their
Yeah.
like whole race, right? Like yeah, that's awesome. So in your version, would there be like other animals and stuff like that?
Yeah, I'm gonna get to. Oh, yeah, I probably should talk about that now because originally you were very much excited to be like, it's post-apocalyptics. Holy shit! There's gonna be like flying wyverns, you know, like trying to get him and shit, and he has to like fight back. And then what I said to you, which was I was just thinking of it's just him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you're like, holy shit. Yeah, and when we started talking about that.
Yeah, yeah.
So that like the animals there, nothing, absolutely nothing. There's nothing alive. Like it is like it has similarities to what I have said, the anime of Last Girl Store.
Yeah, yeah.
It is. That's where I mostly got the inspiration for that.
Mm-hmm. Like I remember at first because like you said post-apocalyptic, I was like Fallout. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I was like Mad Max, fucking just weird ass, crazy ass things, and you said more. I guess your version would be more grounded and stuff like that.
More subdued,
yeah,
essentially.
More subdued and shit like that. So I was like, oh yeah, that does fit because like the fucking post-apocalyptic world story, like fucking factions. It's been like told like billions and billions of times already. So like,
but there's really like not much post-apocalyptics that has like overgrown cities essentially.
Yeah, of course.
And that's what I like. I like greenery.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I like abandoned places essentially.
Yeah. So yeah, my version now would kind of be like it would be more akin to yours, but like the entire world is dead for me. Like
yeah,
it's just like a person kind of like kind of just like going through like the motions of like seeing everything as kind of dead. And like I think my favorite part is just it doesn't have a good ending. We've already discussed it, of course, but like
the ending like it doesn't even feel like it has an ending.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, of course.
Because we're only with that one. It's like the guy is nameless as well.
Yeah, yeah. He doesn't have a name.
He doesn't have a name. He doesn't have anything. All we know is that he's just there. Well, he's the only one we essentially found.
Yeah.
And now we're we're looking through the lenses of his life just for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then we're gone. You know, it sort of has that.
I kind of think it's like how you say again. Like how in some games we're like you're kind of the character. You know what I mean? But like
yeah.
Because like it's an outlook for like people themselves. You know what I mean? Like what if I was in that person's situation? Like and then the question like is that what the end of the world's gonna be like? Like just a whimper, something silent like that. Is that how like it might be? So like I definitely like that approach more than like the fucking we're raiders, we're gonna go fucking touch some woman, shit, shit like that.
action movie stuff.
So yeah, I don't do like many grounded stuff as much as probably you, but like
I
do
am
enjoy
a thorough enjoyer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a thorough enjoyer of slice of life.
Yep. So yeah, shit like we don't like. I fucking hate what's it called again? I can't stand a lot of these guys. I know you can't stand harems. I can't stand the fantasy
no,
worlds.
it's not that I can. It's not like I can't stand it. It's more like I would rather not watch a story that has multiple girls fighting over one useless guy. Not useless. I'm saying that as prejudice, but it's more like I just don't want people. Like I don't want conflict, even if it's like a romantical or like stupidly goofy in romance wise.
I don't mind it. Have you ever watched Love Is War?
Love Is War?
Yeah.
Kaguya-sama, I think.
Yeah,
right?
have you watched that or no?
I have watched that, yes.
Okay,
but that's not exactly.
Okay, I see.
It's not a harem.
Yeah. Well, but like it's called again. Uh, so you said you don't like love triangle either?
No, I don't like love triangles, but that
I
one has.
loved love triangles. Like,
Yeah,
I just like if a concept. I don't mind any concept if it's done right. You know what I mean? It's just like it
yeah.
has to be done right. So like something we've discussed, right? Was like the 5-person love triangle, or it'd be like this person likes this person.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it'd be like
Essentially, like the Heartbreaker Club that I told you about.
yeah. So like it
And here's the thing about it as well. I am the one making that story.
yeah. So like I don't know. It's just like if I say again, like I don't know. It's like fun concepts, right? You know, fun plays on concepts. It's just like you have to make something like sure it can leech off of something. Like a lot of everything leeches off something, right? So like
Yeah,
it just has
like
to be like
I
varied
think
in a
what
way.
you're getting at is like stories have tropes, you know,
Yeah.
and you use the tropes to just like build it up so comically high
Yeah.
that it's just like why has no one done that before, you know? Because it's so simple that no one just like raised the scale on like how the sort of goofy everything could be.
Yeah. What was the third side story we made?
It was about an old warrior, essentially.
You really
I'm assuming I'm the only one
you're the
who
only one who remembers
remembers that.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like about a warrior, I think. It's like a knight of the king, but he got like he essentially got waved off and like forced to retire essentially, and he's like on his own. But you didn't like that story, so we never really got much
Well,
much
like
about it.
we can fuck with it right now because like
Yeah, because
like
that story. I was thinking of like that story as like those. He's an old guy, an old warrior.
Yeah.
And he's just traveling, you know, because like essentially he feels like he's not exactly needed anymore. So he's just like, well, might as well do the things I want to do. So he just goes like traveling around the kingdom.
I kind of like that. That's kind of nice. So if I had to change it at all, I'm more of an action guy. Like I'm like
Yeah.
I'm like I'm the
there is
explosions
action there.
guy in like this like what's it called again in this like group this duo. You know what I mean? Like you're like it should be more it should be more subdued and be more like relaxed. And I'm like fucking explosions, action, and
Yeah.
titties. You know what I mean?
Don't get me wrong. I do like action because I do have a couple of stories that has action on it.
Yeah. What's it called it? So like I guess I would kind of more like a the knight kind of like working for the king to try to get to the princess. No, trying to get to like the thing. I like romance. I really like romance. What is your you like romance, right? You don't mind it.
Slice of life is essentially partly romance, anyways.
Yeah.
There's a certain romance to it.
So like I think it'd be kind of cool if like he was like trying to like maybe it was like a conspiracy for like the king to get killed, right? And like the princess is kind of blamed for it, right? So like this knight's trying to protect her, and like it's like just protect her from all the people. You know what I mean? That are like raiding her. Yeah, kind of like a drama. You know what I mean?
Gross. I don't like that.
Yuck.
I can tolerate it.
So like it's him it's him and her, right? Trying to travel the country, just trying to get her name cleared. You know what I mean? Find out who did it, trying to like find out what happened, and like all the other knights believe that it was her too. You know what I mean? So and he's like the only one who like knows that's not her, right? Because he was with her, and he really likes her. He thinks she's like she's on a pedestal in his mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I get that.
So they're like he's just trying to like he's simping bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So that's your thoughts on like the romance aspect of it, right? For you just want it to be like a little bit more romantic.
Yeah,
but
course.
Here's the thing.
So yours is like an old guy. Mine is more of a young guy. You keep talking.
Exactly. So what I imagine is it's just that old fucking guy like being like 16-year-old princess. Hello.
Okay, give me a second. So like I'm gonna build off of your concept. Imagine it was like a comedy though. It would be like it's like I'm waiting for like my knight in a shining armor. So this knight in shining armor comes up and like saves the princess, and he unveils his mask. He's like a 60-year-old man. She'd be like, "What the fuck?"
Oh my god,
that'd be amazing. I want to see
originally though.
Yeah.
That was just a joke. That's Bryce's joke.
Yeah.
I was thinking he's more like a 40-year-old.
Oh yeah.
So
that
not
makes more sense.
extremely fucking frail. That like he's carrying her is like.
It's like, oh my back, I can't carry you, princess.
Yeah.
It's like, aren't you like a fit 20-year-old knight? He's like, yes.
What do you mean?
I am that. Anyway, keep going on about your concept.
At this point, I forgot.
Okay, it's all good. Other than that, those are like our three. I guess the three we made, kind of.
Yeah, 3 throwaways, and then suddenly just a new one appeared.
Yeah.
It's not even like 3 throwaways now. It multiplied since there's 2 of us, and then there's 6 of it.
Yeah, of course.
No, 4 of no, not exactly 6 stories, but 7 stories.
Yeah.
We just came up with like a new one.
Yeah. Each concept we have between ourselves is like 2 stories essentially because we both have different ideas for it. So like, it's called again. Like, and maybe like one day we'll come together and like decide on like a single story that'll be better. You know what I mean? Like, cause like, let's call again. And like, 2 heads are better than 1. You know what I mean? Like 2 heads going a single direction are probably better than like 2 guys doing 2 different things. You know what I mean? So
Occasionally.
like
Not exactly my thought on it. That's his thoughts.
Yeah. So like, it'd be. I think it like. If we had to put our ideas together, maybe we could compromise for like a fucking single story that would be like kind of okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but considering what we just did, the 2 ideas sort of separated off to one another. But I can't exactly.
Sometimes they can be like, holy fuck, these are way too separate to be like stories that can be put together. Yeah.
It's like it just essentially if we keep our head on straight.
Yeah.
And actually like. Focus of like concepts, because that's the thing with us as well, because you're more like story driven.
Yeah.
You want a purpose, you want things to happen.
I want a villain. I like okay, I'll give my like stance and shit, then you can give yours.
Yeah.
So like I want like, you know, the plot there always has to be like kind of like a villain for the plot and shit like that, and there has to be like kind of like a main character. I feel like the character should
problem, right?
Yeah, there should always be like something driving the character. There should always be like some sort of direction this character should go down, that he should want to go down, and like, you know, see like an overcoming force that he should kind of want to like, you know, do something. Or it could be like, you know, more like it can be grounded, be like it can follow a path, but that path eventually has to lead to something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
as for my case, it's more of a, once again, just a laid back adventurous. I don't exactly excel at problems, so I just like taking it slow, you know, enjoying where I'm at.
So like, yeah, he likes. Oh, how did I describe it again? Like you like
slice of life, I guess.
Yeah, slice of life stuff, like stuff that like it could like
very calming.
Yeah, be ambiguous ending. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
like do you like more ambiguity? How do you say that word?
Ambiguous.
Yeah, do you like more ambiguous stuff than me? Or like, do you are your stories more like ambiguous at the end of stuff, at the end of things? Because I know mine aren't. Mine are like, this is how it ended. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. You actually, that's the thing, because you actually have an ending. You know.
Yeah, I have an ending for my stories.
Yeah, for my stories, it's almost endless. Essentially, there's no problems with anything.
Yeah.
Like there's gonna be actual like problems that they will deal with, because like for you, I was thinking like for you are generally the type of like, it's a book, it's a story, it's a media that has problems, it's a movie, you know. It has to have a beginning and an end. For me, it's just about characters. And focusing on what those characters do. Like I the way I would say that my stories are, they're more like cartoons.
Yeah.
Like they have like the problem is only with one episode, right?
Yeah.
And then they solve that problem, and then, you know, it's all back to normal. And then the next episode, they don't even like talk about what the last episode was, you know.
Yeah.
But for me, it is like akin to a cartoon.
Oh, yeah.
The way I want to develop stories of like how it seems almost endless and goofy. But for me, I want them to remember what happened at the last part of their story and continue remembering and actually develop into like real people. That you could sort of like that. I guess you are correct in the sense that like the ending of the story is going to be ambiguous because it's just like you just know who the characters are. I want you to be with the characters and you see them growing.
Yeah. So for me, I don't believe characters are real people. Like, how you say again? Like, like pretty characters. I'm sorry. So like, my stance on that is like, the characters are like, they're people, of course, right? But like, they're just extensions.
Well, apparently not. You said so. Don't contradict yourself now.
I know. They're like just extensions of people, though. So like, like this person's really like a get-goer or shit like that. Like, people don't act like that in real life. People don't like come back as quickly as these people in real life. You know what I mean? So like, to me, these people are like characters and shit like that. They're not like real representations of humanity. You know what I mean? So like, to me, they'd never be like real people. Of course, they'll feel like real people. Like, if you write an insanely good character like Arthur Morgan or some shit like that, like, you'll be like, God damn, that's a deer. I'm fucking crying. You know what I mean? So of course, you can like write something beautiful, like some beautiful character. But in the end, to me, like, that's not like, it's just a character to me. You know what I mean? And it's pretty much always gonna be character to me. But like, for you want like to grow with like, you're gonna grow with your characters along the way. Yeah,
because like it's like what you said. Because like characters are essentially just a part of you, like a piece, you know.
Of course.
But I take that in quite like a sentimental sense of like, these are actually me, and they are me. And so, like, the way that they would develop is hopefully how I would end up, or how they would actually, like, be better than themselves.
Yeah.
I want them to be, like, just, like, maybe even better than me.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, I get it. What's it called again?
And I don't know if I'm just gonna put this on record, but maybe don't if I ask you to cut this part out.
Yeah, I'll cut it out probably.
I want the characters, like, I want them to be sort of better than me. And I see them as a part of myself, and so that's why I just, like, want them to have fun, don't exactly want them to have, like, much tragedies in their story, but of course it's a story. It's always going to have that, no matter how hard you try, but I want it to be, like, a sort of personification of myself, essentially. Okay, where was I getting at here?
I don't know. Because I can build off of that. Just keep talking.
Yeah, because they are a part of me, the characters that I make, and I'd like to see them just like actually be better.
Yeah.
To actually develop into their own beings. I want them to take their own story, essentially, once I'm finished. Like, looking, like, just, like, sort of just raising them, right?
We can make a religion out of this. It's fucking perfect.
No, it's like, I want, like, it goes back to the thing we were talking about of, like, how ambiguous my endings are.
Yep.
And it's because it doesn't exactly end. Mine don't have like endings. It's just like the characters actually developed and start being on their own.
And like once
the story is done, they're not done.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I get that.
To like, I want people to know that, like, it's sort of like what Lovecraft did. Of like making Cthulhu being like, yeah, you guys can like build off of this if you want.
Oh yeah, of course.
But it's sort of a bit hard for me because I am sentimental and I want those stories, I want those characters to be just mine.
Yeah, of course.
But once I'm gone, then you're free.
Yeah, you ever watch like Mob Psycho? Like, I feel like that's like a perfect representation of like kind of like what you kind of like. If you ever watched the Mob Psycho, the end of like season 3, like it's kind of perfectly what you summed up. Anyway, so like kind of building off of that, like I do like aspects of like characters. I'll add like my own like thoughts. You know what I mean? Like into my own characters. Like it'd be like, like fucking all pedophiles should die, right? So like I'll have a character kill a bunch of pedophiles.
No shit.
So like, and then like, what's it called again? Like I'll add my own beliefs into like, stories, of course, and like, but to same. I don't know. But like to me, like
here's the thing: don't give them a thing to blame you for that, because you like it is what you think.
Yeah.
And what the fuck are they gonna say?
Oh yeah.
You're the creator of the story.
Yeah.
Like fuck them.
So like, it's always just fuck. What am I trying to say? Like the thoughts of the character are like kind of intertwined with the writer. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, it always is.
Yeah. So like, if a character is doing something that they believe is right, there's like a certain aspect of the writer that thinks that it's right too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, it's usually main character. I don't think there's many villain characters that are like many like authors who like just like write like the most diabolical fucking main character ever. But it's like
people have done it though. Yeah,
people have done it. So like maybe like for fun or something like that. You know what I mean? So like, of course, like people can do that. Like I have like a kind of like the thought in my mind would be like, if I could control the world, what would I fucking do? Would I be evil as hell? Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Something like that. And I'm trying to make a you know the concept. I'll say it later. I don't want to say the name of it. I don't know why. I just want to say the name of my concepts. Anyway,
just bleep it out.
Yeah. So you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
So like, yeah, I just like no. I meant fuck. I meant
Don't worry about it. Stop the recording.
So, like how
fuck yeah.
I love that concept. Anyway,
I love that concept. It's a slice of life. Of course I like it.
Yeah, slice of life are awesome. I don't like. I'm not the biggest fan of slice of life as you, of course, but like I can appreciate a good slice of life now and then.
Yeah, especially slice of life that actually like those ones.
Yeah.
Like there's a reason why Komi-san Can't Communicate is like popular. Yeah. It's because they played like they did the thing that I said, like they raised the tropes,
Yeah.
To be so extreme that it's actually like, it feels new,
Yeah.
So and like you wonder why people haven't done that before.
For a certain part of me, I don't know, and I'm not sure for you. Like I prefer more like realistic characters, not more like over the top fucking hit her with a bat. You know what I mean? And then like a bat comes flying in, hits her. Shit like that, right? Like I prefer more like, do you know like the Darling anime, or it'd be like dressing like the Darling one, Dress Up Darling, or what the fuck that's anime called?
Yeah, My Dress Up Darling. I think it's what's it called?
So like I like how it's like kind of grounded, but like the only thing that doesn't make sense to me is how the main character does not have a single fucking friend. Like that doesn't happen. There's no way there's no fucking way. But like, like shit, of course, like you can make a concept like be like, it doesn't have to make sense. It just has to make kind of like
sense in your story.
Yeah, exactly. So like when I see like shit like that, I'm like, there's no fucking way. But like, it's like the story, right? You know what I mean? It's just like, it's how the person wrote it. So I'll go with like whatever they show.
With the trope, right?
It has to align with what's already being shown in the story to like, okay, it makes sense in context of the story, right? But it like in real life, like how does this guy not have a friend at all? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I prefer more grounded stuff. I prefer more like realistic characters, I guess. Prefer to like more like over the top fucking, I'm gonna drink some Gatorade.
Just like actual soul, like being, like sort of. I think you call it like 2-dimensional character, right?
Yeah.
Where they're just one thing and one thing only.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
and it's like this loner is a loner, right? I think that's the thing you're talking about.
So, like, I don't mind that concept, but like you have to play off it. You know what I mean? Like, two-dimensional characters
like,
are
fine. The tropes.
Yeah, and you got to play with it. So, like, say you got a complete fucking loner, right? And then he's trying to make friends. You know what? He's trying to improve himself. Of course, he's like, I want to make friends, right? But every time he tries to make friends, it just doesn't fucking work. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, you want to talk? She gets hit by a bus. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's like, every fucking time.
Yeah.
So like,
but I guess,
sorry.
Yeah. No, because I just want to go back, like talking about realistic characters.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You can continue this
So,
tangent of
like,
yours for a while because
yeah.
it's fun.
So, like, if I'm writing something two-dimensional, I feel like just two-dimensional in general is more like comedic to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, like, if it's two-dimensional, like, two-dimensional characters and, like, fucking anything else, it's just kind of, like, yuck. You know what I mean? Be like, this character doesn't have a fucking personality. This character's, like, fucking see-through.
No, that person only has one personality.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
It's that. I think that's the one that's ticking you off.
Yeah, so, like, if it's, like, it's comedy aspect, of course, dude. Like, I love tropes. Tropes are amazing. So, like, yeah, going on the loner thing, you know what I mean? Like, you have to build off tropes. But, like, say there's, like, a really buff guy who's like, I get all the muscles and I get all the girls. But he's, like, secretly a fucking nerd. You know what I mean?
Yeah, breaking the tropes.
Yeah, so, like, he's like, okay, I'm going to do something nerdy, right? He tries to open up, he's like, he likes reading, right? But he just, like, let's call again. He's, like, just, every time he tries to grab a book, he's, like, you know, just, like, rips it in half. He's like, fucking every time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know, to me, two-dimensional characters have to be fucking just out there. You know what I mean? Kind of like the things you said before. But yeah, what are you talking about realistic characters?
Realistic characters? Because you like seeing it as realistic characters.
Yeah.
Like, for you, right? But the thing is, I think every character we make is realistic in a sense. Because that's what we see about, like, characters. Because for you described it. Like, characters are not just two-dimensional beings. Yep. But for me, that everyone is essentially a character if it's two-dimensional. Because
okay, we'll stop. I thought you were about, but for me, everyone is a two-dimensional character. I was like in real life.
Can be, Bryce. Can be. You don't know what I think. You don't truly know what I think.
Anyway, keep going.
But yeah, like having like goofs and gaffs. Like, you know, just like having like, oh, look at this two-dimensional character. They did that. That's funny, you know, funny laugh right now, you know.
Yeah.
And of course, like the thing with that is that people are gonna get it. It's like the more you do it, the more it's like, okay, you know, people will just do that essentially.
Because I feel like
what I like. Sorry.
I was like, you know, like subverting tropes. You know what I mean? Like if you're making a two-dimensional, you have to subvert them. Like give them. You always have to give another character an aspect of like a different view of them.
Of an actual person.
Yeah. So like, how you say it again? So it's like, say you see like a character that's lovey-dovey. You know what I mean? Like just like, oh, I love this girl. Oh, I like this girl now too. Like I love all these types of girls, right? Then you see. I
just realized.
Sorry,
we can talk about like the drunk ones, you know, because they are tropes.
Yeah.
But they are so like they are actually built characters, but all you see is like the first sides of them.
Yeah. So like, you know, like we see like this character, right? He's like he falls in love so easily. I fall in love so easily. But yeah, like so say like there's this character that just like falls in love with every single girl he meets, you know what I mean? Like, oh, she's a princess. Then he comes across this other girl like, oh, she's a princess. He even falls in love with the teacher, you know what I mean? But then he has like an actual friend that's a girl, and she's like, "This guy's fucking nuts. Like he needs to like." She tries to help him. You know what I mean? He's like, "You need to focus on one fucking person." You know what I mean? Then he's like kind of looking at her with like stars in his eyes. You know what I mean? He's like, I love her.
I can already see that.
Yeah,
I've seen enough. slice of life to get where this is going.
So like
yeah.
Like of course his main factor is that he's lovey-dovey. You know what I mean? Like that's his two-dimensional ass shit. Like you know what I mean? Like he's in love.
But to make it like three-dimensional, is that he is actually just a very appreciative person. Yeah.
So like you have to add the three-dimensionality into your 2D shit. So like, you know, like building off that fucking concept I just made. You know, like he like really like he just like really like likes her, right? Then he's like trying to stay focused on her, right? You know what I mean? He's like, oh, this other girl's cute, but like I still like her. You know what I mean? I gotta stay focused on her. He's like, I gotta fucking, you know, like.
Oh, maybe he's like compensating.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I can't tell her she's cute.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, this girl is cute, you know? And it's sort of
hollow,
and like,
essentially. She's trying to get him a date, you know what I mean? With other girls and stuff like that.
Exactly.
and he's like, yes, let's do a date. You know what I mean? He's like, so they're like pretending to date at like a restaurant. He's like, so this is how you date somebody, right? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, this is a perfect date in her mind. She's like, okay, how do I help my friend? You know what I mean? So like,
yeah.
Dude, we just made an award-winning concept. This is I
What do
want to
you
make
mean?
I want to make this now.
Well, I'm glad you feel that way. So I'm just not gonna say anything and not ruin it for you. But I do like how he's like compensating that he actually just wants to say that, you know, the girl is cute, but he just reverts it to like different girls. And here's the thing as well with that. Maybe he is fucking handsome, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe other girls like thinking that was like, oh my god, he actually thinks I'm cute. And then like it sort of like goes to like background characters.
Yeah.
Like maybe one of his guy friend, and he's like, oh, he says this to everybody. Like one of the gloomy dudes, and the gloomy dudes actually turns out to have multiple fucking dates, you know?
Yeah. Like the main character just cannot get a date for the life of him. Like it just doesn't work out.
Yeah, he does.
Like,
No, he doesn't want to get multiple dates, but other people just thinks he like,
so
you
like,
know.
for me, it would be more like, how you say again? So like at first, because he's lovey-dovey, right? You know what I mean? He's like, oh, I'm in love with every single girl, right? But like he doesn't realize he's in love with the main girl character. Until,
That's what you want to do with it. Okay.
Until she has that fucking conversation with him, right? And he's like kind of like asking every girl out, but like the date never works out. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah,
it's like, you know.
Oh wait, maybe the thing with that is that whenever oh fuck, new concept, Bryce.
Okay,
like,
wait.
This is building off of this.
Let me explain my concept.
Okay. I'll try to just get that stuck in my head. Hold on.
Yeah. So
go.
So you know, like he like tries to go on many dates, right? So, but like you know, he meets a girl at a bus stop, but the fucking bus doors aren't working, right? So she just drives off in the bus. He's like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like then like you know, it's like hijinks keep happening, like something preventing him like from dating, right? And he's like, wow, dates never work out for me. You know what I mean? And he's like, but he's in love with every single girl, right? Then he like comes across like, you know, the main girl, like he comes across his girlfriend. I mean, his friend that's a girl, and she's like, he's like, okay, I'll help you out. You know what I mean? Like, you're my best friend. You know what I mean? I'll fucking help you get a date finally. You know what I mean? And he's like, she's so beautiful. I could like, I want to buy her flowers.
And he's like, I love you so much. You know, like platonic, like those types of way.
Yeah.
Right. And then she's like, yeah.
And he wants to do something more, and she's like just convinced that he wants to date someone else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So, what do you want to say?
I was gonna say like when we were talking about like him going into dates, but never works out. When you said that, I was thinking of like when he goes in, like when he's going to like the dates, right, with the other girls.
Yeah.
He just starts talking about like his actual friend that's a girl, you know? He starts like he gushes about her so much, and he like asks questions to the other girls and being like, "What do you think I should do?" You know? And then the other girls like it turns into like the girl like his like essentially the girls that he is now like quote unquote on a date with, right?
Yeah.
Because I can see him as sort of like an aloof character.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Of being like, it's like, I don't know this is a date, so, but this is a girl, and she'll know what girls are, like, you know?
Yeah.
And then it turns into, like, all of his fangirls, or all the girls he asks out, well, quote-unquote asks out, that they all turn into, like, alright, we need to get these two together.
Yeah.
It turns into that.
So,
that's what I saw.
Okay, that's kind of nice. Yeah, so yeah. Fuck it, what I'm trying to say right now. I'm just keep saying yeah. But anyway... So yeah, like two-dimensional characters. Going back to that dumbass shit. Yeah, like you gotta add the three-dimensionality into like a concept. You know what I mean? Like, like you just can't have like a fantasy world and like, oh, I have my smartphone in my fucking fantasy world. Like, is that the only like fucking thing that's like magical about this world? Nothing else? You ever watch like In Another World with My Smartphone? It's so fucking stupid.
I haven't because it's harem, but it's stupid. I can already tell. Yeah,
so it just he spawns in the world. He's okay with dying. He talks to God, right? And then he's like, "I'll give you your smartphone, and you can have all these magical abilities, right?"
Don't make me rant about how isekais are again.
Okay, I know, but like, so he gets that shit, right? And then he just has a smartphone in another world. That's the entire fucking concept. Like, nothing else. He does nothing with
Yeah,
that
the entire
concept.
premise of it.
Like, it's just mind-boggling. It's just like, you couldn't have done anything better. You know what I mean? You couldn't have had, like, personality to this fucking character. He just, like, what does he want to do? You know what I mean? He's just like,
Yeah.
God, it just drives me insane.
And then suddenly all these girls flock on him, you know?
Yeah, dude. He has
It goes back to
He has 9 girlfriends in that fucking anime. Isn't that crazy?
it goes back to what you said. You need to deserve it.
Yeah. So, like, I don't know. It's just like, oh man, it like, it's so easy to recognize bad writing. Like, I will maybe like now more now than before because I'm trying to actually be a writer and stuff like that. I'm actually currently writing shit. Like I analyze stuff, and if it's fucking annoying, I'm gonna yell at it, and no one's like people like my neighbors would be like, "The fuck is this guy yelling?" Well, yeah, I don't know. It's just
You
like,
gotta rant about the things you like, man.
yeah, I know, and things I hate too, dude. But yeah, so if fucking you're adding something to your character, add like to the personality of the character, not like the world of it. You know what I mean? Like if you had to add anything else, add more to the personality and like the characters and how they interact, rather than like the concept itself. Like sure, the concept is the concept. You know what I mean? But like then the characters are kind of what drive it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
You have to fucking add to the characters. You just can't have like a fucking concept. Oh, a smartphone, and the characters are dull as a fucking. I don't know. What's dull?
Not even a rock, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Duller than a rock. Literal atom. Atom mindset.
No. But like, I don't know. It's just like, it's infuriating if I see that shit. And then I'm like, I could have done so much more with the concept. You know what I mean? I get mad.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I don't know. But I don't know. You want to end it here? That was pretty good. We can just I'll just end the podcast here, I guess. That was a good one.
I can just continue
we can just continue talking after this. Yep. Okay. 1, 2, 3. It has been nice. It has been Rice. This has been the Rice with Rice podcast. Alt, say goodbye.
Fuck you.
Okay, yeah, fuck you guys.